And I got up and came out to the middle and started coming down the aisle. And you should have seen my grandfather's. He was like, my grandfather was like, come forward if you want to. I mean, he probably just assumed, right, that I was all good. And I came forward, and Pastor John was actually waiting up here to talk to anybody. And of course, because he worked with the youth people, I was one of the young people in the church. And I said, I need to talk to somebody about this. And I sat down on the front row and waited for the altar call to end. And another friend of mine, who was in our school and in our church as well, named Jimmy Elsmore. Can you believe that? That was 40 years ago. Jimmy Elsmore came up front too, and he sat down beside me. Now, you want to know what was cool about Jimmy Elsmore? His parents were missionaries. Now, if anything trumps a pastor's kid, it's a missionary's kid, right? I mean, your parents are serving in a foreign country. I mean, you're in the club, right? If anybody can stand before God and go, hey, you know who my parents are, right? I mean, you know my family missionaries, right? Do you see the pattern? Thinking that you're in because your parents were in, or your grandfather was in, or you went to a certain school, or you learned a bunch of verses, or you wore short hair and a tie, or you didn't listen to rock music, or any number of do's and don'ts that mean nothing to God. He just loves you, and he wants you. He doesn't want your list of good deeds. You can't keep them up. Am I right? You can't keep it up. We're all flawed human beings. We're all bozos if you catch us at the right time. We all screw up, right? We know it. You know you do. I sure do. I could never keep that up. You know what I mean? Always, right thing, right thing, right thing. You can't do it. That's why God's love is so awesome, because you don't have to. He loves you anyway. He accepts you anyway. You know, there's a verse in the Bible that says, where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. Anybody ever heard that, boy? You know why there's freedom? Because you're free not to have to live by these rules and regulations. As far back as the Pharisees and the Sadducees,